Sarthak, we can start the session now.
Ma'am, I'm just waiting for Achit Bhaiya for the recording.
Okay.
I'm waiting for his approval.
I would request all the participants who are present here, so kindly turn on your cameras so that the session can be more interactive. The speakers have taken out time from their busy schedules to be with you on Saturday. So kindly turn on your cameras. So hope all of you are enjoying your stay in IITs, different IITs. So Muskan is in IIT Guwahati, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So I visited your campus.
Actually, ma'am, till now I didn't got a chance to visit the campus.
Oh,
Since last
okay.
1 year, I am at my home only.
Okay, it's so beautiful. So I stayed there for 5 days. Yeah, we are likely to start now. Chalo, we'll start
Yes,
and
ma'am.
then later we can have discussions. Yes, we'll stay.
Okay.
Normally start the session and the recording will be on now. Make an announcement, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Before we start the session, it is assumed that a consent has been given to record this meeting and post it on social media platforms. Good afternoon, everyone. I, Sarthak Jain, on behalf of Kirodimal College, welcome you to the Alma Connect Talk of KMC. Today, joining us, we have our staff coordinator, Dr. Seema Joshi ma'am. Before we jump right into the session, I would request Seema Joshi ma'am to give the welcome words. Over to you, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. It seems that never ever we realize the power of our young alumni at Kirodimal College before the establishment of Kirodimal College Alumni Network. It is the KMC Alumni Network which came up with an idea to celebrate Founders Month instead of Founders Day, and that was in the month of February. And we tried to engage one of the important stakeholders of our institution, that is our very own alumni. Seeing the success of its various programs, this new series, Building Career Path Live series, has been launched by the official alumni network of Kirodimal College by engaging its alumni from diverse fields and specializations. As an organization, Kirodimal College firmly believes that alumni are our brand ambassadors. We desire to cultivate a strong relationship with our alumni who can benefit their alma mater socially, professionally, and academically with their wealth of knowledge and skills. The time has come when they have to give back to their alma mater as a sign of their gratitude towards the institution. And it can be through mentoring, career guidance, placement opportunities for the young juniors in KMC. Organizations world over have been realizing now how important are the diversity and inclusion strategies for their success in multicultural societies and workplaces. And there is a lot of research which is ongoing and which indicates the role a diverse and inclusive environment in promoting creativity and innovation culture. And being a part of Kirodimal College, you are very well aware that our institution is diverse, and diversity of our KMC gets reflected in the courses we offer, academic societies we are having, the gender diversity initiatives we take up from time to time, and above all, in diverse institutions we cater to once our students get a graduation degree from KMC. What is so unique and special about today's session is its composition, which is so diverse and at the same time inclusive. With these words, I extend a very warm welcome on behalf of KMC Alumni Network and on behalf of our Principal Madam to our three speakers from three renowned IITs, IITs Bombay, IIT Delhi and IIT Guwahati respectively. I also welcome all the participants. Let me share with you that our Principal Madam, Professor Vibha Singh Chauhan, is always looking forward to these sessions conducted by the Alumni Network as she communicated to all of us yesterday. But she is engaged in an important meeting right now, and that is why she couldn't join us. But she joins me in conveying her best wishes to all the speakers and the participants. Once again, I welcome all of you to this session 3 under the Building Career Path series launched by official Alumni Network of Kirorimal College on July 8th. Over to you, Sarthak.
Thank you, ma'am, for your kind words. It is indeed my great pleasure to welcome among us the alumni of this institute. Not only it is a moment of happiness and nostalgia for us, but also an opportunity to reflect on our learnings and achievements. First up, we have Smith Kriti. She is a chemistry graduate from Kirorimal College, class of 2020, and is currently pursuing MSc in chemistry from IIT Delhi. She secured All India rank 59th in IIT JAM 2020 and was selected as subject matter expert in chemistry at Czech Incorporation, which is an American educational technology company. Not just that, Smith Kriti is also serving as a core member of Chemocronies, the Chemical Society of IIT Delhi. She has been part of various workshops and has participated in countless competitions in the field of chemistry. Moving on, we have Muskan Bhargav. She completed her undergraduation in BSc Chemistry Honours from KMC in the year 2020. At present, she is pursuing MSc in Chemistry from IIT Guwahati. She secured All India rank 308th in IIT JAM 2020. As for her future, she plans to work in research and development wing of some of the topmost global chemical companies like Sun Pharma, BASF, ExxonMobil, Tata Chemicals, etc. Further, we have Mahesh Yadav. He is also a chemistry graduate from Kirorimal College, class of 2018. He completed his post-graduation from IIT Bombay in chemistry in year 2020 and even secured All India rank 86 in IIT JAM 2018. As for his professional life, currently he's working as associate content creator at Indian Decacon Byju's. Now, I would request the panel to take over the stage, starting with Smith Kriti.
Thank you, Sarthak. Thank you for introducing us. First of all, I would like to thank Seema ma'am, Sarthak, and me for inviting us on this platform. And I would like to say that we haven't, the batch of 2020 haven't experienced the whole college life because of the COVID, but still we are learning a lot and we are trying our best to gain as much as we can from this experience. And currently I am in my second year. I have completed my first year and I am currently in my second year. And one thing I would like to KMC, as ma'am mentioned, that KMC has diversity, and that really helps them to look and educate themselves on different cultures, on different, also to gain a lot from different people and their background. And as for JAM, I would say that started like I was in my 11th or 12th when I got to know about this exam, that an exam like IIT JAM existed, through which I can pursue my master's from IIT, different IITs basically. So I was quite clear about that, that once I'll be joining BSc, I'll be preparing for this exam and I'll try to get into an IIT as much as I can. So that dream was last year, and I'm really thankful for all the teachers through this journey and taught us so many things. And in the lab, we experienced so many different things. So thank you for that.
Yeah. Now I would request Mahesh Yadav to please tell us something.
Yeah. So am I audible, Saina?
Yes, you're audible.
Cool. Yeah. So introduction has been already done by Sarthak. Thank you for that. And thank you to the whole KMC team for inviting us to this platform and sharing our thoughts and experience that we had during our academic life and all. And we are here to clear all your doubts, guys. Feel free to ask anything related to any queries, whatever you feel like. Like I have been done my MSc from IIT Bombay, so anything related to IIT Bombay, if you have any doubts, like any other IITs also, because many of my friends have also been post-graduated from that particular IIT, so little bit ideas also there with me that I can share with you guys. And regarding IIT JAM, that Smriti Giti said that she had an idea in 11th, 12th class. I had no idea till graduation first year. One of my seniors told me that, yeah, JAM kind of exam exists. But then, yeah, obviously there are like various options that where you will be going for JAM or like SSC, CGL government kind of jobs. So we'll share that what made me feel to go to MSc rather than SSC and all. So just feel free and make this session interactive with us. We will love to answer all of your queries. Thank you.
Now I'd request Muskan Bhargav to tell us some words.
First of all, a warm good afternoon to respected ma'am and all the listeners out here. I am Muskan Bhargava. First of all, would like to express my warm regards for reaching out me and inviting me to share my experience with all the JAM aspirants and all the listeners out here. I did my graduation in BSc Honours Chemistry from Kirodimal College in the batch of 2020. And my experience at KMC was really very amazing. I learned a lot and I got a lot to explore, which will be really very helpful in my future life too. And recently, I am doing my post-graduation from the IIT Guwahati, and I have completed my first year. And I came to know about this IIT JAM exam when I was in my first year. Before that, I haven't heard about this exam, and I came to know from few of my seniors too, and so I decided to opt for this exam. And from the 12th onwards, I really wanted to go to IIT. So because IIT still holds a brand value, not only among employers, but also among a society. And you get a huge respect and social recognition too if you manage to get admission into an IIT. So I really wanted to get an admission into an IIT. So I decided to opt for this exam.
Thank you for your kind words. Now, before moving on, I would request all those in the session to feel free to unmute their mic and ask questions. You can even type your questions in the chat box. So moving on, the attendees have sent some questions prior to the session. Anyone in the panel can answer them. So the first question is, what kind of career prospects does one have after MSc from IIT, and are they reliable?
Yeah, like one should be, first of all, sure about his aim, like what he wants to do. Because after MSc, you have various options like going to PSUs through GATE and then doing PhD from foreign or from India itself. And then working in EdTech companies like what I am working in Byju's and all. Or also there is an opportunity that you can go in a teaching line. And government teaching, we need B.Ed for that, I guess. So that is school teaching. And obviously after PhD, then professor kind of teaching. So, I mean, when you are in the second year of that MSc, you always had to do a project. From that project, you get an idea about research. First one, what my experience is that during that second year that I was doing project, I had an idea ki will I be able to do research or not? Will I be able to pursue PhD in foreign or not? So I was pretty much sure that I'll be going in teaching line from starting, from like graduation time. I was sure that I'll be involved in teaching only. Yeah, obviously teaching can be like professor thinks so I can do PhD for it, but I can't wait for like so long, like 5 to 6 years of PhD and then 2 years of postdoc. So that's something which needs to be like very, very time consuming, but yeah, it's worth it if you have that job in your hand. So it depends on what you want to do. And yeah, there are various career options also, like teaching and all that. That's what I said.
Okay. So moving on to the next question. What were some of the reasons that convinced you to go for JAM?
I think Muskan perfectly summed it up in her introduction that IIT has a mission of its own, right? So you get that tag value. Also, the academic infrastructure and the facilities are better than most of the institutes in IITs, right? So that was a very big motivation for all of us while preparing JAM, that we'll get better opportunities, we'll get better academics, maybe better academics or better research facilities. Explore, basically to explore and get to know what we are trying to do as a job, right? So I think that would be a big thing pursuing IIT JAM. Another thing is I think anyone who is interested in pursuing masters should do IIT, because, like I said, that IIT is the track value and it gives you more opportunities, right? So if you are doing masters, so you should aim higher. So IIT JAM does that for us. Okay. Also, you learn a lot of things while you are preparing for the exam. You are learning a lot of along. So your knowledge, even if you don't get into an IIT, your knowledge is not wasted. You'll apply it somewhere else. So I think that was really a motivation for me, and I think others would agree too.
That's great. So moving on to the next question. Looking back, what do you think were the misconceptions that aspirants have there in mind?
Actually, the misconception the students generally face is that they focus on the length. They spend generally most of their time on the lengthy topics, and they avoid the topic that were not asked frequently, and generally after 2 to 3 years, due to which they were unable to cover the whole syllabus. And so, according to me, each and every topic is equally important, and you need to cover your whole syllabus before the commencement of the exam. And because the exam pattern is changing every year, and also the difficulty level is also increasing. So you need to focus on each and every topic.
Okay, that's great. So we have a question from Ajao. He said that how many months are sufficient for the JAM preparation and to secure a good rank?
I think it highly depends on where you're starting from. If you have a strong base, like if you have good basic concepts of chemistry, then I think 6 months would be okay. Would be enough for you to cover, considering you are continuously doing. I think you'll give your exam in your third year, right? So till that, you have already completed 2.5 years of your college life. So you have covered all those topics which are necessary for IIT JAM, right? I think almost all the topics you have covered. So I think if you are comfortable with those topics, if you know that you can cover those topics, it won't take you much time to revise those topics and do questions based on those topics. Months would be enough. But if you think you have time to brush up your basics or work on them, I think 1 year is enough. 1 year is enough.
Okay. I hope your question is answered, Ajao. And I would request everyone in the session to please keep this session interactive and post their questions either in chat or they can even unmute their mic. So moving on to next question. What is the life like at IIT? Like, how does your usual day look like?
Yeah, I'd like to share this thing. It's better than what we enjoy at graduation time because first of all, it's hostel life, and like very few of the students have an opportunity to get hostel in KMC at least. Yeah, and the thing is, there is no kind of hectic schedule that in IIT Bombay, especially if I would say, it's very relaxed. Like timing of the classes is also cool. From 8:30 to 12:30, we have classes in first year, and then 2 or 3 days lab time also. And in second year, it becomes hectic because in that particular year, you are involved in research. You get an idea at how actually research works. So during second year, I would say that if you are interested in research or you are involved in like organic synthesis kind of research, you have to give totally a whole day in that. Because my schedule was like in second year, I used to get at 8:30 classes and up to 12:30 there were classes, and then just had my lunch, and that around 2 o'clock we used to go to lab, and then during the time of dinner we have to come back. So like in second year it becomes hectic, and that too in some cases only, like if you're doing organic. I mean in physical it won't take much time because maximum is theoretical portion in physical. Sometimes you can do it from your hostel room also, like physical work, like if you want to do it on laptop. But yeah, when it comes to synthesis labs and all, then you need to give your time. And also apart from studies, various cultural activities are also there. Fest organization like what DU is famous for fest also, and IIT Bombay is also famous for that thing. And we enjoy in that particular fest during that time also. There's no such kind of thing that professor also keeps you saying like no need to attend fest and all, you need to do research. And I mean professors are also cool. They support you in this thing also, like okay, if you want to enjoy, you want to go out, then you can go out somewhere and go and chill like that. So life has been pretty good. And also sports, in matter of sports also, like in KMC also, what I believe is during my 3 years, I just went for like 1 or 2 times to play cricket. That was me. Maybe some people go always, or like they might have been gone always. But for me, I was not able to go like always. Like in IIT Bombay, we had a lot of time. We enjoy over there also. That's it.
I mean, that was a really valuable experience, and I hope that all the future aspirants have an idea how life at IIT looks like. So, yeah. And now moving on to the next question, like after clearing the exam, how did you choose the institute of your choice? Was it just ranking or were there any other criteria?
I chose IIT Guwahati because as per the ranking and also the other factors, and also the Department of Chemistry is really very good at IIT Guwahati. It is more research oriented, and also because of its campus, the campus is really very, very beautiful. It is situated at the bank of river Brahmaputra, and the campus is ideal for academics. So all these three reasons, first of all, is its ranking. Second one is campus, and the third one is here the professors are really very genius, very talented, and really very cool and more oriented towards research. So that's why I chose IIT Guwahati.
Okay, that's great. That's great. So moving on to the next question. Any memories of your time at KMC? And I would request all of the panel to answer this question.
I think my most fond memories of KMC would be the time fest, like department fest or college fest or other departments when they are having their fest. We'll go and enjoy it even in their fest or society fest or stuff like that. So I think that would be my most fond memory. Plus, not just fest, but the preparation that goes behind them. the days leading up to the fest, like when we have a department fest, we are in the team, we are organizing the fest, we are making sure things are done right. So I think that would be my most favorite memory, and I think that also is a great learning time too, like organizing fest and creating memories basically. So I think that would be for me.
Yeah, regarding memories, I would also like to say this fest thing was really good. Like not of KMC fest, but yeah, fest of all DUs and all. They were really great, and we enjoyed over there. And yeah, some memories, like if I want to say, then that won't be good, because like bunking classes has been always a great thing during my college time. I used to do that a lot. And then fighting for everything, I mean, friends and all, like that friend circle over the first time graduation life, and that too in KMC. That's a really chill college, that I would say. And in terms of academic also, and in terms of your personal life also, you never feel like you're, I mean, we are totally frustrated from studies, from anything like that. Professors have been also helpful of our chemistry department, and so everything was great of KMC.
In KMC, actually, everything is really very special to me. Those 3 years were really the best part of my life, and the memory to me was when the Shahid Kapoor came to our college for the shooting of Kabir Singh, and that's a really very great memory for me. Whenever I used to watch that movie, I feel nostalgic about my college. And the other one is about the college fest. When I was at the college, there was I never attended any of the college fest, but the DU fest are really very amazing, and I have attended all the fests other than my college. And also another one is related to my leisure time, which I used to spend with my friends in Ashoka Lawn and in front of the department in chemistry in Library Lawn. These two spots were my favorite places to hang out.
I bet this was a nostalgic moment for the whole panel. So moving on, we have a question from Manan. He said that, how are placements and academics in IIT better than DU?
Yeah, regarding placement, I would like to say that few IITs only offer good placements, like not every IIT. I guess till what I remember, IIT Delhi is not that much good in placements. And when it comes to IIT Bombay, it's really good. Like many of my friends are in industrial areas also, and that too with good package. And then when it comes to recommendation of any professor for research in foreign universities also, in that matter also, IIT Bombay has been really doing great. And like in case of DU, I really had no idea what kind of MSc placements are there in DU. But yeah, IIT Bombay has been really good in placements. But sometimes what happens is like they select few of the students only. So what this Muskan also said, that tag matters, and that really matters. Like when you are giving any interview, and at that moment that you said that yeah, you did your post graduation from IIT Bombay, they really had that kind of feeling that okay, he might be a intelligent guy, or like there might be a possibility that they will not ask much questions from you. Like I did this interview in Alan Kota. There, what my interview experience was really like very short, and for like 1 minute or two, I just went over there. I prepared for a particular topic like electrophilic substitution reaction. I just went over there, and then those panel was already sitting over there, and then they asked that, okay, you did your graduation from here, and then PG from okay IIT Bombay, and then okay, what you will be teaching? Then I just said that electrophilic substitution reaction, and I just write E on that board, and they just said, okay, you may go. And I was not sure that now is this like they are just removing us from this particular list, or like they will be selecting us. But yeah, obviously I got selected in that. But yeah, so that matters, because when I was hearing from other students also, while they were giving interviewing, like they were saying that yeah, he's asking this kind of questions, he's asking this kind of question. So we were also like, okay, we need to prepare good. So it matters. So placement kind of not in Delhi, I would say, and in Kanpur, I would say that's totally research oriented. Kanpur is just for research. I mean, if you want to do proper research and you want to believe in yourself that, yeah, I'm doing a good research, IIT Kanpur is the best option that you can have.
I hope your question is answered, Manan. And moving on, we have a question from Ajao, and he has a question for you, Mahesh Bhaiya, that if one wants to pursue PhD from foreign country, is there any sort of things like having an outstanding CGPA from BSc onward and prior research experience, like internship, matters in selection for the same? And what about those who are just average scorers from beginning and want to pursue PhD from foreign?
Yeah, see, foreign universities usually see the CGPA thing is really important. If you want to get an admission to a good university, they will see your academic background only, and that too, if you are majorly involved in these internships and all, like during your MSc time, if you have done various internship in various colleges, that also matters. Okay, and the most important thing which matters is the recommendation of professor, because like if I want to, if I had to do a PhD from a particular institute in foreign, during my first year of this second year of MSc, my professor was really strict. It was like, you have to work, you have to work, you have to. And I was like, okay, I'll do. And he keep me motivating by saying that I will publish a paper of you. Like research paper is something that every PhD student forms. Like for like वो बोलते हैं धक्का लगता है कि अच्छा that motivates you, right? So I was like, okay, sir, I'll do. He was really strict. Like when I went to his lab, like we need to select professors. Okay, you have to go. And I went to his lab, and one of his favorite students, I met one of his favorite, and he just praised that particular professor that he is really good. Like okay then, but he was favorite student. I was having no idea about that. So he will obviously won't tell any drawbacks of that professor, that how strict he might be. So I went over there, and yeah, it was really good, and I really worked hard in that particular second year. Like I really used to spend all of my time in that particular lab only doing columns and all. At that moment, I realized that I can't do research more. I'll be more involved in teaching after this. I'll be getting a job after this. But yeah, I got a paper in OBC General. That's really good. So that thing also matters, that if you are that particular second year, if you're totally involved in research and you are having a paper now, then doesn't matter that your CPI is below average or what. That paper matters. Like you will be getting a particular good institute, and obviously then your professor will be sending a good recommendation to that particular institute, that yeah, he is an intelligent student. Like recommendation also matters, like what your professor will say about you to that particular professor in that foreign university. So that's the thing. But yeah, CPI obviously it plays, I mean, it has a good impact over that particular person, that yeah, he is intelligent, because then he will be taking an interview also, and that also if you are performing good, then he will select. But yeah, recommendation, when it comes to recommendation, maximum students will get recommended with the professor's recommendation. Then they won't be thinking that okay, what is the CPI? So recommendation matters majorly.
I hope your question is answered, Ajao, and you have taken notes. So yeah, moving on to the next question, we have Saubhagya's question, and he said that, what's the biggest thing that you need to take care of while preparing for competitive exams along with your academics? I would request anyone in the panel.
Okay, I answer. What's the biggest thing that you need to take care of? Yeah, competitive. First of all, syllabus. That what's there in the syllabus, right? Because they won't be asking anything out of the syllabus, except if there's any exceptional case, that will be like just a 1% of that case. But yeah, nothing will be asked out of syllabus. I have a hard copy of that particular, what I used to do during my preparation time. First of all, what helped me in JAM was after 12th, I dropped out for this year of IIT, JEE and all. So in that, I had a keen interest in chemistry. And well, I was filling the forms of graduation also, like I was not selected over there, so I had no option other than this BSc. So at that moment, I also was sure that I'll be going in chemistry only. So we have an options like when we are getting an admission in graduation, like we used to fill, okay, ye nahi mila, to then we will be getting maths, then we will be getting physics. Okay, not an issue. We can get physics in Hindu like this. So people think we have an option, but I was pretty sure that not an issue. I can't fill because I know physics. I can't do. That's like really hectic for me. Like I don't have that much of mind that I can use in physics and maths also. So I was pretty sure that I'll be going in chemistry only. So I just filled that particular chemistry thing and then from various colleges, and then I got admission in KMC. And regarding this JAM thing, when I said about preparation, I would like to say this syllabus thing and then try to revise. Like when you are attending any coaching, just go through that coaching and then give some time, at least 1 hour for that particular day, that what you had studied in that particular day from coaching, and then try to solve as much as questions as you can. Because theory, sometimes what happens is you can study it for one time, you'll feel like okay, I have done, and then when it comes to question, that means you are applying that particular theory on those parts. So when it comes to application of that theory on questions, then your mind strikes somewhere and then you're like, okay, we need to remember this. Okay, this theory is applied on this question. So you get an idea. And then after you're done with a particular chapter, please make short notes. That's really helpful. Like especially in physical chemistry, I would say the level of IIT JEE is way too far than IIT JEM in terms of physical, at least, because in physical they just ask formula based question. Like during my time, paper was really bit easy. If you have seen of 2018 Gen, really very easy. They were asking just basics. They were just want to know that how much you are well aware of chemistry. They were not saying we will be asking very hard tough questions kind of things. Just few very basic questions were asked in that. And to those students who were like preparing that high level, like sometimes what happens is you go on like okay, it's IIT, so they will be asking high level questions. So people, sometimes what happens is they lose their basics. So that should not happen. Basics is something that basics should be strong. What's that they should be strong. So basics you must have, and then short notes I would say, and then practice as much as questions as you can to get an idea that okay, yeah, I am learning from my theory part and I can apply it also in the questions. That's it.
I hope Subhagya have taken notes. And we have second last question from Bhavna. She would like to know about the exchange programs available and how can one start preparing for them. I would again repeat the question. She would like to know about the exchange programs available and how can one start preparing for them.
Okay, I would like to hear about IIT Delhi.
Like what kind of collaborations at post graduation level are available? I think Bhagya, is she present here? So Bhagya Pratap Singh, why don't you come forward? Please turn on your video and directly raise the questions. And like I think Saubhagya is pointing towards the potential of various exchange programs or international collaborations at MSc level. Like most of the panelists are telling us about the opportunities which are available after post-graduation. I think Saubhagya wants to know that whether at PG level there are, MSc level there are opportunities available or not. Yeah,
hello, am I audible?
Yes, Bhavna, you are audible.
Actually, I want to know about the exchange programs that one can avail after the first year of MSc. Like, are these like I have seen some seniors profile and that they went to foreign universities for exchange, and are these things still working in this time of COVID? I actually want to know about that.
Okay, I would be honest. Right now, I think it would be difficult for you to avail such scholarships or such such exchange programs because of the COVID. You won't be able to travel to that particular country. If your research interest is something that you could pursue uh, from your home, like if you're interested in computational chemistry or theoretical chemistry, I would say. So it would be easy for you to avail such exchange programs or apply for such exchange programs. As for IIT Delhi, I would say there is no such, I think, student body that is taking care of it or looking after it. I know that I think IIT Bombay has one. They help students regarding this issue, and they help students regarding internships at foreign universities. I think so. Mahesh Bhaiya would be helpful in this case.
Yeah, regarding internships, I would say that obviously various colleges come during this summer time. They used to same procedure goes on. They used to see your CV, and then they used to take your interview, and then they will select on basis of that. And all this, your expenditure of traveling and all, they will be providing you.
All right, thanks.
Even Aryan has added something that IIT Guwahati has recently announced a tie-up with a university in Japan. So I guess Bhavna, your question is answered. And moving on to the last question, we have question from Bhavya. Are there any course of commerce in IIT?
I don't think so.
I mean, there are MBA courses that I know of. So MBA courses are there. Uh, Actually, IIT has a lot of courses. Like we generally associate IIT with BTech only, but IITs do offer a whole lot of courses. So I think they should just go through the website and they'll find every course. So I think there is a scope, but not undergraduate. I don't think they have undergraduate commerce courses.
Yeah, and yes, but I would like to add that if you visit the websites of various IITs, they are having social science and humanities wing, and they are also having departments of management. But for commerce, they don't cater to directly. But in MBA course, there are some components, there are some, courses commerce students are catered to.
Even Manan has added that MSc Economics is offered by IIT.
Yeah, this is covered under social science and humanities department, economics, sociology, psychology. They are having these streams.
Yes.
So
And
that for that we will recommend that you should visit the websites of various IITs. I think the panel is not the right. They are mainly from the science stream. So in case you are having questions relating to their journey or the way you want to achieve your goals in the times to come, I think that they will be able to answer. And for remaining questions, you can visit the websites of various IITs.
And yeah, that was really good incentive. And moving on, we have a question from Timpi Yadav. What things you are doing to take most use from doing an online MSc due to pandemic? So I would repeat the question. What things are you doing to take most use from doing an online MSc due to the pandemic?
So I'm currently I'm currently a summer intern at IIT Delhi Uni. I'm under a professor of mine. So in that would count. Plus, as you mentioned, I am a core member of the Chemistry Society at IIT Delhi. I think that adds up. Plus, there are a lot of online workshops or I think conferences that keep happening. So keep it for that. Keep an eye out for that. So I think that would sum up everything that I'm doing.
Okay, I hope your questions are answered, Timpi. So yeah, this was an exceptionally insightful and informative talk, and we really appreciate your line of work. and now have a better understanding of how JAM and prospects in future prospects of chemistry really look like. Thank you for answering all your questions and making this super engaging and fun. And just for your information, could you please type in chat box how and where can students connect with you? I would request the panel to type that in chat box. And moving on, coming towards the end of the session, I would like to thank you all again on behalf of whole team of Alma Connect. You have really inspired us. I would also like to thank Seema Joshi ma'am, a staff coordinator, for her constant effort and support throughout these sessions. And last but not the least, I would like to thank our viewers for being here. And with that, we conclude our today's talk.
Thank you very much.